Very good. Thank you. Um, Jim Collenban is going to be my MC on the dietitian part. He will be announcing. And I guess I'm going to get started with the soup. We're going to start with a chilled gazpacho. Okay, what I'm going to do first, I'm going to show you how to make a tomato concasse. And I take the tomato, core it on the bottom, stripe it on the top, and put it in boiling water. And remove the skin. While this is boiling, I'm going to just get some prep done here. Another important part, I want to show you. I basically have all this prep done already, but I'm going to show you a sample how to do this. Okay.
Something, all the vegetables that Chef Werner is using are acquired locally from a consortium of over 70 farmers in Lancaster County. And so we take very seriously sustainable efforts in dining services. So we believe that not only does it add extra flavor, and all of you are very familiar with pulling a tomato out of the garden or a cucumber and how fresh it tastes, how great, how superior.
What I do with a cucumber, I just noticed I scratched out the seeds in the flesh part where the juice is. I put it in a strainer and I save that. That later on goes back into the gazpacho.
What's really nice about the soup that Chef is preparing is that we like to say in dining services it's nutrient dense, meaning it has a lot of vitamins and minerals and antioxidants that is very good for health. And for those who are very interested in health, your eating soup before the meal is just a great way to help fill you up and not get as many calories. And it's a good way to start your meal. A lot of cultures begin that meal that way with some soup or some consomme. And
usually this kind of soup is served in the summertime when it's really when it's hot out, and I chill the soup cups and I chill the soup really cold, and it's refreshing. What I'm doing right now, I'm cutting a prunoise of vegetables, which I'm going to add into your soup.
Very colorful soup. The pigments inside all of vegetables, what they call phytochemicals, really give a great deal of, how should I say, I call them miracle molecules, and they add to the health of your body. These phytochemicals help to thwart the initiation stages of cancer and chronic degenerative diseases because they like to hang out in your body's tissues and put out the fire, if you will, of disease. And with a cool soup that Chef is making, another interesting part that Chef does when he makes this soup is that he blends some of his vegetables, and that's a very good way of increasing the absorption and the utilization of the nutrients. There's an old saying that your stomach doesn't have teeth. So if you chew your food or you macerate it like that, that really makes available a lot of the nutrients. And
what I'd like
yes,
to
sir.
do is puree the carrots because they're rather tough to cut, and they digest better when they're pureed up. The cucumbers, what I do is I puree some of the cucumbers, and I also dice some cucumbers, and I add those in here. And then the same with with tomatoes. I put some tomatoes also in the blender, which I will blend some more. Put them in here. I have some of my onions, diced yellow peppers, green peppers, chopped parsley. And I like to fortify that with V8 juice, because V8 juice is with tomatoes and vegetables. It really brings the flavor out and thins your soup. A lot of times recipes I have seen before, they actually just ask for tomato juice and V8 juice, and they grind up the vegetables and put it together. I like to boil some of the tomatoes freshly. Then I'm going to shock them in here in ice water to stop the cooking process.
We do have a question from one of our audience members.
Yeah, I've got two. Do you lose any fiber when you chop it up like that?
Okay, where are we?
No, you don't. You actually help to make that more available to your system, both the soluble fiber and the insoluble fiber, which are both very helpful and healthy.
And the other one, buying your food locally, does that increase your cost, lower your cost, or is it a wash?
We're increasing our use of local purchases. We're over 30% of all of our purchases are local, and we find that to be, like as you say, a wash, and a very tasty one, very healthy one. What's nice too is that the locally obtained vegetables are organic, so they're not made from genetically modified seed, usually heirloom seed.
I think we have another question.
Can English cucumbers be used?
You could use English cucumbers, but I prefer almost the regular cucumbers because you can scrape out the seeds and the flesh on the inside. They have more juice in them, and I put them in a strainer. And now, at this point, I only have really one cucumber here. But if I make a large batch of soup, like for you for the night, I probably have about a quart of juice just from the cucumbers and tomatoes naturally coming out and add it back into the soup. So I squeeze this juice and just have a little bit here at this point. But it puts that little flavor in there of fresh cucumber and tomatoes. I have a lime here. Now you could, this is optional I always say, because you could add cumin in there or fresh cilantro in your soup, and it is refreshing, but it has a very kind of Mexican, South American flavor to it. And it also reminds you of having eaten salsa. So sometimes I just prefer to put parsley in it, maybe garnish with a little sprig of cilantro. Salt, pepper, and of course, I left my Tabasco back there, but I usually put some Tabasco in there to give it some extra flavor. I have salt and pepper. And this is really a soup. This is your gazpacho. Okay. I had a cup here. There we go. Little here. A little sprig of cilantro on the top, and here's your soup.
Bravo.